to In Frame. I'm Jay Lazarus Hawk.
And I'm Jamie Hall.
And we are Rising Fire Productions. I'd like to apologize for the late start. As it is, every week, live, we have some technical difficulties we're still working out. But fairly soon we hope to be coming at you on the hour regularly with a show with no technical difficulties. Our guest this week is Tiffany Miche, a local spoken word artist, performer. You've been actually acting and performing since childhood, correct?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. We're going to be talking with her about some of her experiences, how we met, and some of the things that she's got going on in town. Before we do that, I'd like to make a few announcements. Chad Allen Barton has finished principal photography for Lights Camera Bullshit, and will hopefully be joining us next week as our guest, and hopefully we'll be able to see a little trailer or some footage and get a taste of what that film will be about. I'd like to congratulate him and Piano Man Pictures for getting this far with that project, and we're all very much looking forward to seeing the final product. Also this week, tomorrow evening, the Inner Fire acting class, hosted by us, Rising Fire Productions, 6:30 at 110 Commerce Avenue, downtown. We'll be in the bar in the back half of Ferrero's Pizzeria and Pub. And also tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and I'm not positive on the location, but there's an event posted on Facebook for it, Fuel Films will be having their 2013 launch. So make it out there, network with Fuel Films, and see what they've got going on for the year. Tiffany, I'd like to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we met Monday, where we were hired to do a job, and you came in. We were at the New Daisy Theater downtown, and you did a stand-in as one of our background singers for a performance flashback piece. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how it is you actually came to be at the New Daisy Monday that led to our connection.
Okay. Well, I am a re-emerging artist. I did a lot of things in the Memphis community growing up. I've kind of been birthed really into this city in the art scene. So I started off acting when I was very young. My first traveling theater production was 5. And my role was the sitting tree. You know, it was very nice. All I had to do was sit there and smile. I was very good at it. And so that particular company liked that, and they found out that I could do other things other than sit there and smile. A singer was Tax Music Academy. I did that for 5 years. And I got to travel to London, England. In that same year, I started taking my poetry very seriously. This was always 16. And I went to the Apollo Theater in New York and auditioned there. Wow. I got the audition, went back, performed on the Apollo.
I want to cut you off here a minute. Yeah. I'd like to know a little bit about the experience working at Stax, because of course Stax Music is born and bred here in Memphis, and changed a lot of the American music scene throughout the 70s especially. Mm-hmm. So what was it like working in that kind of environment, and did you have the opportunity to work directly with any of the Stax artists that we would all be familiar with?
I did. And I don't talk about it much, but I'm going to talk about it now. I try to, I guess modesty could be poison sometimes. You don't open your mouth and tell people about yourself. So here we go, releasing the poison. All right, Stax Music Academy was an awesome experience. When I went there, I was a sheltered child, a troubled child with a smile. So nobody ever really knew all the difficulties that I went through. So my entire life, I've used the arts as healing for me.
A lot of people do.
I think most true artists do.
Yeah, it was an absolute necessity. I didn't have brothers and sisters growing up. I didn't have a relationship with either my mother or my father. It was crazy. But what I could always relate to made me feel better was when I would sing, or hear something on the radio, write songs. My father, I do applaud him for noticing that I went to a place of peace when I began to sing or play on the piano or write poems. And so he actually made me go to the Stax auditions, which I was upset about. Why do I need to go to this audition? I mean, I'm doing poetry. Don't nobody need to be singing that kind of thing. But I was a rebellious child, so anything he said, I was gonna say the opposite. He was right about that one thing in life and nothing else. Stacks turned out to be great. It helped me to have something positive to do after school. I was there. I was the first student at Stacks. There were about 7 of us, and we used to rehearse in. I think it was Claiborne Homes that we used to rehearse in. I'm not sure. I might be wrong, but it was. I don't think they're around anymore. And we would go there almost every day, and we would just practice. If anything else, it taught me diligence. If you want to do something and you want to sound good doing it, you have to practice. And we would open our mouths and sing notes and think we're really doing something, you know. And they would remind us what Stacks was, where it came from, the crowd that you're going to be performing in front of. The rehearsal I'm referring to right now, we had this rehearsal before Stacks Music Academy was ever built. It was the groundbreaking, and when we did perform, and you looked out into the audience, and you saw Isaac Hayes and the remaining members of the Booker T and the MGs, and Deanie Parker, who have you ever been to Stacks and the museum?
It was a long time ago, but it was quite a few years ago.
If Miss Parker sees this video, she's gonna kill me because she asked me to. When I joined the academy, I had my afro. It's bigger than this, and eventually, over time, I worked for the academy after I graduated, and she sat me in her office and she told me that some things that you want in life, you're gonna have to look a certain way. I used to wear my afro too. You're gonna have to get rid of that if you want to make it in this world. So I cut off my hair for her, and she hasn't seen me since. Uh-oh.
So
Well, I don't necessarily think that was the best advice. I don't want to contradict anybody, but I think as an artist, you should be true to who you are.
It's about your persona. It's about a freeness to be who you want to be, and I don't.
And come on, working at Stacks with a fro?
Yeah, I mean,
that just
should be a requirement.
That seems like it would be the dress code.
You know, but it's Memphis, you know, because it's the real world. So many people want to be artists. Like, that's what you want to be. You aspire to be an artist. But in this city, it's normally not what you do to sustain as your bread and butter. Normally, you have to go into a 9 to 5, and for that reason, we have to learn to conform.
And we have often, on this show, as well as in discussions in our classes, we've often discussed that, you know, we all love Memphis. There's a lot about Memphis to love.
There is a lot.
And like any other city, there's a lot about Memphis to have trouble with. Mm-hmm. But it does seem that for artists in this city, and this city is full of gifted, talented people in every form, whether it's music, whether they're painting, whether they're making films, no matter what it is, there are some incredibly gifted people in this city. But it's very difficult to get exposure. It's very difficult to get the ball rolling, to take those first steps. Because unless you already are a known commodity,
or have somebody,
or have strong backing.
Yes.
This city makes it very difficult to make the break.
Yeah.
If you were to go somewhere else, become even a small hit, and get press, and then come back, Memphis will step behind you very quickly, because now you're a hometown person that has stepped past the boundaries and gotten known. But we have a very hard time in Memphis getting people to look at our arts outside of our city. For us, with film especially, we know it because we don't have the strong incentives that Hollywood wants to bring big budget projects to a state.
Well, I mean,
so Hollywood really doesn't look here.
And the same thing for musicians. I mean, musicians don't really have anything artists.
There's not even a really good venue here.
No, I mean, in a lot of the venues that are good venues, they tend to die. Yeah. Because there is no support.
What there is here in Memphis is a vibrant underground scene.
That does exist.
It's so beautiful. I host a open mic every first Saturday, so I just had my show last night. And
another event that's going on that people should be paying attention to, by the way.
Oh, should I plug here?
Absolutely,
That's
plug
what it's
here.
here for.
Every Saturday.
Please join me every first Saturday at Caritas Village. The show starts at 5:30. The doors open really at 10 a.m. Caritas Village is an awesome cafe with paninis and gyros, a particular sandwich I love called the Harvard, which should be called the Tiffany, but that's another topic. You love the food there, and it's very inexpensive. The address is 2509 Harvard Avenue. Check us out. Open mic.
Tell them again, it's every
first Saturday. So the next one will be March 2nd. Then the next one after that, I don't have a calendar in front of me, will be that preceding first Saturday. We're always there. We don't care.
Okay.
Unless it like freezes and pigs start flying in Kaysville.
Well,
Something
the
like
weather
that,
in Memphis
you know.
is
Do you generally have good response at your open mic nights?
I do.
Excellent.
I do.
Excellent.
It's what I really like about Caritas. Caritas means love for all people. And I have an experience with Caritas. They helped me out when I was a teenager. And so what I do at Caritas is my community service. It's giving back. I'm going to forever.
And I think that I have a lot of respect for that. I think when you came over to my house and we were doing our initial interview, I believe you and I got into a conversation about being an artist in a city, in a community. And I mentioned that one of the things we at Rising Fire do is, we work with a lot of charities. A lot of the work we've done as a corporate entity has been very discounted to help charities and things like that. We did a music video for an artist named Leela, which she was the winner of a charity. Kent, what was the charity?
Creative Aging Mid-South.
Creative Aging Mid-South. Okay. So we donated our time at 60-70% off or something like that to help this charity sponsor this event and have a music video as a prize. We've given money to the
Junior Diabetes Foundation. When I did my preview of my movie, we sold things with the proceeds of those posters that we sold to go to the Junior Diabetes Foundation for that as well.
So basically the point is that when doing what we do, when being an artist,
You guys can walk. You feel free.
being an artist in any community, especially one that does not have a bankroll of its own or some sort of support behind it, we're asking the community at large to support what we do, to help us make money doing the art that we do. So if I'm asking the community to support me as a filmmaker, I personally feel, and this is a company philosophy, personally feel that it is our duty to give back to that community, whether it's through the Caritas, whether it's through giving something to the Diabetes Foundation, whether it's discounting services to help a charity make a video, whatever it is, we feel we need to give back. So I have a lot of respect for stepping into something like that, and it shows a strength of character because you're not doing it for the attention, you're not doing it for the money, you're not even doing it for the exposure. You're doing it to give back to someone that has helped you. And that is what it is all about as an artist in a community for me, I think.
Yeah. Caritas is Oni Johns. She runs Caritas, and she came into my life at when I was 18. Her and a few others here in the community, Dara Davis, Bridget Chisholm, so many people reached out to help me. Crystal Lynn Johnson, she was a professor, teacher at Stax Music Academy first, is where I met her. And eventually she ended up being my high school teacher in English, the year that I really needed her in my life. And after you've been helped so much, because as a kid I went through like a homeless period, and I was really depressed. I was going through a lot. Nobody knew though. Nobody knew about all the things that I had been going through because I kept this smile, and I was always on stage, and I was in the newspaper, I was in commercials, I was busy, but such a sad little kid. So now I feel obligated to go and do what I do. I teach poetry in the schools. I work with a nonprofit called Southern Word out of Nashville. And they heard about what I was doing with a nonprofit here in the city called Dress for Success Memphis. And what I did with them was a community action project. They asked us, what can you do to affect your community? How can you make a change with the resources that you have? When I first started the project, it was going to be like a health project because I'm a chef. I like to cook, and I did go to culinary just to say I did it. I get it out the way, and I freaking loved it, and then graduated at the top of my class. So
Congratulations.
thank you very much. If you ever need anything cooked, you guys let me know.
That's actually an important thing, and something we've talked about. For any of the audience we have, I suspect many of them are our peers in this town, especially probably filmmakers in their own right. We very often get out there and have little to no money at all to put into the production on any level. And of course, everybody has to eat. So if you're asking 10, 15, 20 people to come out and be on your set for 8 to 10 hours a day, you got to do something about food. Now, there's a running joke through almost every production team in town that it's going to be pizza or hamburgers, dollar menu hamburgers. That's the very typical type of thing that most productions in town are providing.
That's what they can basically afford.
It's what, because it's quick, it's easy, and it's what can be afforded. However, his wife can cook like lightning. I mean, I've never been disappointed going to their house for meals. Having that skill, having that ability. We as filmmakers like knowing things like that because personally, and I hope other filmmakers out there are paying attention to this as well, if I'm asking someone to come out on my set for 8 hours, I'd rather give them decent food instead of pizza and, a Wendy's burger or a McDonald's burger or something which is basically pollution to the body. Cooking like that is cheaper than buying catered foods.
It actually is.
You can cook quantities very inexpensively. So having that's a service you could offer. I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you would even want to.
It is. My friends found out that I cook because I didn't really advertise it at first. I have so many talents that I get overwhelmed myself, so I don't try to overwhelm other people with everything that I do. But a friend found out, and they got me to cater an event reluctantly. I was so scared and nervous, but everybody ate and enjoyed themselves. We did the heated subs, meatballs, salad, fruit, dessert. It was delicious, and I enjoyed myself. I'm a sushi chef as well, and that is the events that some friends and I are about to try to get into, because there is the event that I do at Caritas, which is nonprofit and with donations at the door, but I also do other events in the city that I hope to bring home some income from.
Well, absolutely.
But it's so underground. Like Memphis is so very underground right now, and what my goal is to bring that same talent and excitement, but just to a different crowd. I think it's like a hidden jewel right now. So some friends and I are getting ready to talk about events that bring sushi and art.
Well, the whole point in this show is to expose the artist, to let people know Memphis is a city that has amazing talent, whether it's as filmmakers, musicians, actors, chefs, poets, no matter what it is. We have it here.
We do.
And we have more than one who stand out. I mean, we have a viable arts community. It is very underground. Everybody knows each other because it's a very inbred city. But we're not seeing a lot of blatant collaboration. And some of that, I think, might be because people aren't aware of just how much they could collaborate.
Yeah.
Somebody sitting in their home with their oil paints and a canvas doesn't necessarily think, I know Lazarus and Jamie, they're making movies. They don't necessarily think that there's a connection.
And there always,
But there is.
With the arts, with all arts, whether it be photography, painting, film, spoken word, there's always a connection that all of us can have. We as filmmakers can use things like jewelry and art and, somebody that's comfortable with putting their stuff out there like that. And I wish it was that to where we could rely on one another a lot more than being the underground thing. I wish we could all come above ground
And yeah,
and be able
well,
to share
and
with each other.
That's what we're trying to do. Is by having you on this show, for instance, we hope that our viewers will now start writing down in their little mental notebooks. Tiffany Mache, she does spoken word, she does music, she does acting, she does cooking, and they're writing all these items down in their little mental list. And if they come to a point in a production where they need some of that, maybe they can contact you. And now they know you personally. And now they can tell other people that they know about having worked with you. And before you know it, maybe the people in this town are starting to work together. We're going to make a movie. In our movie, we're going to have actors, actresses. Those actors and actresses are going to have to be in some place. They're going to have to sit on something. They're going to have to wear clothes. They're probably going to wear some kind of jewelry. There's going to be some sort of art or objects in the room and on the walls. Why go with what, let's say we go some restaurant and we're going to shoot in their location. Why shoot the generic art they have on the wall? Why not ask if we can take it down and hang up a painting that Drea has done, or a sketch, or a piece of work, or digital art, or something that my wife has done with pencils? Why not put that up there and show local art as part of another piece of local art? And then when it comes time to have music, go to people who do music locally, not who are signed to CBS Records or Atlanta Records or Def Jam or whoever else, but people who don't have a record deal, people who aren't getting listened to in Seattle or Austin or New York or LA, people here that have that talent.
And then that goes against, we always promote that and we always say that, but it's also up to the artists themselves to be able to, well, this is just a small venue. It's always going to be a small venue if you don't push what you have. If you're not getting out there like what you do, and other people, we talk about a lot. We're from Black Lodge, but Black Lodge is Memphis's own shelf.
Absolutely.
Is one of the smallest shelves in Memphis. We as artists have to be able to get out there and face our fears, knowing that it might not get accepted or it could get accepted. You're never going to know until you come from underground and come out and show what you have.
And by creating unity between the artists and across the genres of art, film, painting, sewing, whatever it might be, creating a unity across all of that genre, I'm one filmmaker. I made movies and I put them out there. You're one filmmaker. You were trying to make a film and get it out there. We got together. Now we were two filmmakers working together towards a goal, and we had much better results within 6 months. Now we're 3 people. Now we're 4 people. Now we're 5 people, and you bring in the painters, and you bring in the people that can make jewelry, and you bring in the people that can build sets and furniture, and you bring in the people that make clothes, etc., etc., etc. And now we are no longer 1 or 2 people, but we are a force.
Yeah. It's possible. I think a lot of people are afraid of collaboration because what I notice here, and not just Memphis, but when you get around artists, especially if they do the same thing you do, you start to feel competitive. We're competing for the same crowd in general. As a poet, I've participated in a lot of open mics, and sometimes you'll have poetry nights on the exact same night. Like there might be one on Monday at 8 o'clock, one on Monday at 7, on the same street. It gets crazy. So people don't want to collaborate. They feel like you're going to take something from me. The spirit.
Go ahead.
The spirit that I have has been one of, I feel what you're saying. Why don't we all come together? And what I've gotten as a result, now that I've opened up, because at first, I was in my own little shell as well. Just as a person, it's been difficult for me to decide I was going to be myself and walk out the door every day and just be me, and be this artist. So now that I've accepted myself as an artist, I've tried to accept others as well. And what's happened is artists have come to me and said, I will work with you. So I've had painters who say, oh, okay, we're going to do an art gallery show with you, and they want to do album covers and things like that. You'll get studio producers who just want to, well, I know you got this project, you're willing to collaborate. They'll volunteer their services, they volunteer their tracks, and after a while, the talent pool here in Memphis, it gets a little bit overwhelming. My phone is constantly going off with new artists who want to collaborate, and at this point, I really think that I don't know. I feel like Memphis is ready. I just think it needs the financial support.
It's busting. It definitely is busting at the seams.
It is.
With, I mean, and we as a company can also understand, the whole thing with, you've got so many things going with in so many different genres, film, poetry, art, all in general, that people feel like that you're starting to step on toes a little bit, and that is so untrue. That especially with us, we're not trying to step on anybody's toes. We're trying to broaden that. In the film community, a lot of people go, "You're never going to make it in Memphis as a director or a writer. You need to leave from here and go to Los Angeles, New Orleans, or Atlanta."
I hear that every day too.
Yes, and if that's the case, what did Atlanta and New Orleans do? They rose above. They collaborated together. And they formed this thing that now everybody wants to go to Atlanta to film or to be in a movie. We have to do that in this city, whether we have the financial backing or not. Once the city sees us do this, then they're going to step up and they go, well, hey.
Historically speaking, I mean, you can go on back to the 60s with Martin Luther King and all that went on here. You can go back into the 50s with Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley and things that were going on here. Everything Memphis has gotten, it's had to prove it. It hasn't been able to just stand up and have success. Things that have come through Memphis have truly, truly had to work to be seen. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in other places, but it really does seem, and maybe it's just the perspective of this is our city and we wish it was better than it is for us. But it really does seem that in Memphis, you really do have to work twice as hard to get half as far as an artist or a musician or something along those lines in this town. And then there are certain ways that you can circumnavigate that. Now, somebody who can play guitar, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Memphis is going to love that because Memphis is a blues city. They're going to, that guy's going to go down on Beale Street and make some money. But Memphis doesn't have an identity in film. Mystery Train was one of the bigger films done here, The Firm. Craig Brewer is our only real homegrown successful filmmaker. Some people argue Ira Sachs, but Ira Sachs lives in New York now, I think. Craig is the only one that really maintains a local level well. And he's the only film identity we have. And Craig will be the first to tell you it was not easy here. I was there for some of it, I saw some of it, and I by no means want to betray any confidence or put words in his mouth on any level, but if he hadn't succeeded at the independent festival in Hollywood, the Hollywood Digital Film Festival, I think it was called, where Poor and Hungry won the big award, he may not have been able to do it because he didn't have that success. He needed that Hollywood moment to really, really let Memphis know that he wasn't just a flash in the pan, that he had something that could be recognized outside of the city. So it's very hard for us here, and I think that by bonding together, yes, you're going to create some natural competition, but if you let that be a healthy competition, it only makes us stronger. And by pulling together, by pulling the networks we all have together, we increase the number of people and the potential we have for bringing attention to our city from eyes and pocketbooks outside of our city limits and our state limits. Our state incentives aren't bringing anything to us. Right now, Nashville has a TV show, appropriately called Nashville, that is apparently succeeding. And the Nashville government is firsthand able to see the benefits of having a backed production in their city. They're seeing the revenue that generates. They're seeing the economic boost that gives them. So we're hoping, as filmmakers on our end, we're hoping that the state government housed in Nashville will see what it is that's happening on the economic level in their city and the creation of jobs, the creation of an economic boost that's going through the city with the people that are getting the paychecks from those jobs.
I mean, I work with people that are artists where I work at, and there's people that are leaving their jobs for where we work at because they're going to Nashville now.
Yeah.
Memphis is such an awesome place for anything arts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the only cities that I can watch a Toyota go down the road with a rocking horse tied to the top of it.
Oh my gosh, the things that people carry.
Yeah, well, no, this is fixed to the car.
This was, attached.
Attached to the car, and it had Pony Express, on the side of the car. And I sat in the car and laughed about that. And as I was laughing, I was like, "That's amazing that people would do that to express their art, to get their art out there." And we have so many talented artists but the city won't back us. And I think with an uprising of the artists, more artists to come together, and like you said, there's some competition that is healthy. There is a lot of competition that is...
The whole point in our film production work is to challenge ourselves to raise our production value. Why? Because we want better production value, but we also want Arnold Edwards and Ryan Parker and Chad Allen Barton and Sam Baer and whoever else might be out there to see, okay, they've raised their production value. We need to raise ours now. And then when they raise theirs, we see theirs. And, as far as I'm concerned, a couple of them actually stand out above us a little bit right now. But the point is to challenge everybody to raise the quality of their work. It's not about competition. It's about inspiration. It's about showing someone something and helping them realize they can achieve that level.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they'll do something that shows us, like when we had Sam Baer here.
I just met that guy, and he inspired me as a filmmaker. I mean, we had a conversation.
I've known him off and on for 5 years, and just having him on our show talking about his experience, we went home and spoke for at least 2 hours about the ideas and inspirations having him here gave us. So it's about getting communication. It's about sharing connections. It's about building a wider network.
It is.
And it really is about, like you said, being an uprising. I've often been heard saying that I think it's time for a new renaissance. I think that in many ways, in the past 20 years plus, and unfortunately probably for a few more to go, we have been, at least politically and socially, in a form of dark ages. And the arts have suffered. In every city across this nation, the arts are getting less and less funding. And we're seeing less and less of true art and more cookie cutter art. You watch the singing shows, and I watch all of them. The Voice, American Idol, X Factor, the other countries' versions of. I watch all of them, and I'm noticing here and there I'm seeing true artists. But I'm also seeing a lot of them trying to turn them into the next Mariah Carey, the next Whitney Houston, the next Celine Dion, and always trying to create what has been created. I was amazed at last year's American Idol winner because he truly seemed to have his own artistic identity. And that gave me a moment of inspiration and hope for our American music scene, because I won't turn on the radio because I am disappointed so much by what's going on. So I think that we do need a new renaissance. We do need all of our artists in our city and in other cities to really, really start working together and setting aside the egos, sharing the spotlight, turning the spotlight to someone else. The whole point of this show is to get other artists on here. I've already told several people, I don't have to be the host of this show. I just want this show to exist for artists in this city.
Yeah.
Whoever is sitting in this chair or that chair. I want this show here for all of us. I want all of us to have a chance to be seen and to be heard. And I think that that is an important aspect. You know, giving back to your community is important because you're asking that support. Working with other artists is important because you're asking them to work with you. You're asking them to support what you're doing. But you have to give back, and you have to be willing to give anything you expect or want from anyone else. You have to give back as well. I'd like to go ahead and take a break. I don't know exactly what we're going to break to right now. I don't think we have any of your video clips prepared yet. So we're going to take a break. We'll see what's going on technically, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. And I think I saw a couple of your friends walk in as well.
I know, we're excited.
So let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Sherry Henley, founder of Business Over Coffee International. You are watching Business Over Coffee, and we are so happy to be here with you today, along with the guest and the panelists on the show.
And I'll give you another example. I had changed my profile on Facebook recently this week, and it said married. It had like 10 or 12 options on there. Single, married. One of them was complicated, and I thought well, shoot, I'm going to check that. My daughter immediately calls me and says, "What's up with this, Mom?"
A new book is always exciting to its author, of course, especially when it's a kind of continuation or the next step on a lifetime almost of work. And this one about emergence Christianity is a great joy and delight to me. Obviously one can do, and I have, analysis of the times in which we are, of the history of the times.
Hunter Bronner, Stephen Bradley, Trey Spann split to the left. Spann is in the slot. Bradley on the outside. Riley takes a snap on first down, drops the pass, looking left, steps up into it. He's got Trey Spann over the middle. Spann breaks the tackle to the 40. Spann to the 50. Trey Spann still on his feet to the 45-40. Pushed out of bounds inside the 40-yard line of Tupelo. 43 seconds on the clock.
Put your hand on this chart right here in the center. Well, the way we're going to do your skin tones, we're going to match the skin, the eye color, and the hair color. What we're going to do is we're going to get right up in here we've got to go past the beard line and get to where we have some real pure skin tones. And when we do that, you go really red. And when we do this, you stay the same tone.
I went and volunteered to go into the United States Navy, travel abroad, over halfway around the world, and after seeing other foreign countries, I realized how blessed I was to be from a city such as Memphis.
After graduating with my bachelor's degree, I was still in need of specialized training and education in order to transition into the assisted living industry. Through exceptional networking and career services offered by the Healthcare Educational Institute, I was able to land me a lead management position at a reputable facility.
Dig! I said dig!
The picturesque hamlet of Bolton, Connecticut. Your typical New England town. However, under its beauty is a tragic history. Meet young filmmaker Pierce Lindell, born and raised. Perhaps you know Pierce's grandfather, the former trooper of the town and a beloved public figure. Pierce's friends have just helped him make a movie, and it premieres tonight. Not everyone is happy about it. This could be the best night of Pierce's life, had he only known. I filmed your death.
Alright, welcome back. That was the trailer for I Filmed Your Death by Sam Baer, who of course we had just mentioned. We're hoping that he'll have a final trailer for that in the next few weeks, and that we'll be able to see that film in the Indie Memphis Film Festival this year, I hope.
Well, definitely, I'm sorry.
That's quite alright. We're boring, Jamie.
No, it's definitely a Sunday.
I'd like to welcome a couple of more people here. We have some friends of Tiffany's that have joined us, Taliba and Jason, who will be playing the keyboards. We're going to go ahead and you'll have to bear with us. We are on a one-camera shoot, so you'll have to suffer through some motion in the camera. But we're going to turn the camera towards them, and we're going to have an impromptu performance by Tiffany, Taliba, and Jason. Enjoy. Whenever you're ready.
Alright, so this song is something that I wrote so long ago as a student at Stax Music Academy. But I still do all these years later. And it's a mixture of a song and a poem called Mesmerize and Trippin'. I'm in a daze, and I never felt this way from sight. It might seem that I could get used to the very thought of you, and I'm kinda really crazy, 'cause I can get you out my mind, and it's really a trip to me. I truly think that I'm falling, so can I get close to you? Can I get next to you? Oh, I'm infatuated And I can't help but feel the way I do, 'cause you got me tripping. Yeah, I mean, a days I never felt this way. You got me, you got me, you got me. You got me, you got me, you got me, you got me. You got me, you got me, you got me, got me. Mesmerized by your beauty, I stand still, just watching the clouds moving, knowing that you, my divine king, author of everything, meant this moment just for me. Watching you watch me, and silently you teach me, while metaphorically this predestined scenario screams, Tiffany. It whispers, just be still. It starts to speak to my spirit, wooing oh so gently. I got you. Just fall back and I'll catch you. And you do. You see, I finally learned to trust you, knowing that what you say you'll do is exactly what you'll do. You cannot lie, it's not in you. So what you speak must come to pass. Like the things I do for you must be the only things that'll last. The last shall be first, and I will be first. If I thirst for you, quench only at the taste of you, which I've dined and found to be good. Your word is true. I tried it on you and you did indeed respond. My God, my love, who cannot lie? Who cannot lie? So can I get close to you? Can I get next to you? Oh, I'm infatuated, and I can't help but feel the way I do. See, you ain't like no man who'll make me cry, but why do I confine you? Waste all this time trying to define you instead of letting you just be. Instead of following up after God is, I'll leave it blank, thereby giving you room to just be more than just good and more than just God. You're my God with an exclamation mark. And how can people allow you to be so good when you're great? When you're more than great, you're awesome, more than man could even anticipate. You're like Jesus without boundaries. See, normal flesh would burst in an attempt to confound you, but thing is, God, I guess I just need you to take me out, leaving what's left to these people so that they too can find that awesome beauty, that awesome beauty, that amazing beauty, that awestruck. Thank you for my life beauty that I found in you. Oh, you got me tripping. You got me. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Watch your pen as you sit back there and you won't lose it.
I don't want to write on my dress.
What is on right now? I have no idea what we're watching. I don't even know what this is, but it's hilarious.
Anybody could be bad actors.
Don't like this crowd you're hanging
They
out
just put anybody on TV these days.
I know. It's like somebody's...
Don't let this conversation be about you. Rising Fire, insurance against bad acting. Be sure you know what you're doing, the choices you're making, before you step on the set.
is on right now.
Let's do it all the time. Starting now.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well,
Excellent performance.
That was fantastic. That's actually the first time I actually got to hear you, because you spent the whole day Monday pretending to sing. So kudos. I didn't know what to anticipate or know exactly what to expect, but that was fantastic.
Thank you.
And joining us, of course, Jason and Taliba. How about giving us a little bit of history here?
We talked about collaboration,
Mhm.
and I am collaboration Tiffany. Stories get funny here. Now, this guy I met 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met at this little kind of a nightclub. Well, I won't say it's a nightclub, but we met at this little place called Brinson's.
It's a bar. They have a lot of events there. They have an event every night of the week at Brinson's.
And our energy just like immediately kind of gelled together. And we went to what's the name of the
That
place?
didn't sound like a 2-day
No, it didn't.
collaboration.
This particular song I've been doing since I was 16 at Stax. I wrote it while I was at Stax on a Stax piano with another Stax musician. It was all Stax students. We wrote the music. They helped me with the music, and I did the words. So over the years, I don't claim to be a piano player.
Right.
Even though maybe if I practice some, I'm saying I could hang with you.
What you said earlier, you got to
It
practice.
doesn't sound like you need to worry too much about that. That was impressive.
It's awesome. But he came in. It's that spirit of collaboration because we were in the studio when we met, and he came in. We did some singing together. He let me hear some tracks, and we were like, okay, I can see us collaborating, And I asked him, did he want to come to an open mic with me, and he did. And when he came to the open mic, he met Taliba, who I haven't seen for 6 years almost. We went to high school together.
Okay.
Taliba's a couple years under me. And then I invited her to another open mic the next day, which she came on Saturday. So met him Friday, re-met her Saturday, and here we are on Sunday.
Okay, so now I will just assume that in your own right, you are also musicians and artistic talents of some kind.
Certainly.
Is it only music?
Yeah, well, I do music. I make jewelry.
That's an art form.
Yeah.
I do. I'm an artist in my entire being, so I do art in every way I can.
That's a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful answer.
She's being modest because we met in the theater department at Overton, and she's a phenomenal actress. Phenomenal. I just had to say it because she wasn't going to say it.
Well, we are filmmakers, and probably most of the people in our audience are local filmmakers as well. They're aware of what we're doing. We're attempting the point of this show, as they've heard me say many times out there, and she's heard a number of times.
Great, fantastic.
We want to take local independent artists like yourselves, us, and everything. Hey, Jen. And give them exposure to each other, to the city at large, and the opportunity to figure out ways of working together, how we can benefit each other, because we are all struggling artists. We're in a city that makes it very difficult to be an artist.
Yes, we are.
And this is a way to bring us all together and kind of make connections with people.
Yeah,
and not to embarrass anybody, but one of the people in this city that we haven't worked directly with, but through Fuel Films we became familiar with, gentleman standing off camera right now is named James Spostow. And this is one of the benefits of being in Black Lodge. You never know who you will meet.
Right.
He is a filmmaker in his own right. He works with Fuel Films. Your company is now known as?
Well, I have a digital creative agency called Spostow Interactive. My new company is called Extreme. It's in a different field.
Okay. I didn't realize it was in a different field. I heard
Although
something about new ventures.
And we have filmmakers using it to collaborate and whatnot.
Excellent.
But it's a collaboration.
But
there's that word that we keep hearing.
Collaboration.
I think it is the word of the day.
Well, he's one of the, I guess the technical term is board member
Yeah,
for Fuel Film.
I just graduated to founder emeritus.
Okay.
I'm no longer directly involved after being one of the 3 founders and working in it for a few years. I have to work full time on my other things, so
Right.
I've stepped back and let other people have a chance to step up.
Now, are you going to stay active in the community?
In the film community?
Film?
Well, once I get past the launch of this new company, yes, I will.
Excellent.
But for the time being, film takes a lot of energy, and so does startup. And right now, the startup's what it's all about.
Indeed.
Once I get back.
Well, thank you.
That.
Thank you, Jim. Again, I
No, not at all.
Didn't mean to just embarrass you or point you out there. I just wanted, what I'm doing with this show is to try and connect artists. So I just wanted these people here to realize that in this building, you never know who you will run into. And the impression you're making at any given moment, a year from now, Jim could have a movie production that he's working on. And he could have remembered this moment right now. And he walked in while you guys were performing. If he heard that, maybe he wants that for a production. So it's another way, like I said, it's just about getting exposure for everybody, to get them out there, to build these connections and raise us all up so that we can turn the eyes of other places towards Memphis, because Memphis isn't really doing much to lift us up without the help.
Very true.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So, are you guys going to be going around with this as a group thing? Are you going to do more work together?
Well,
this is all
this
very.
This is all
very new,
spontaneous.
very
I
new.
like to make people uncomfortable. No, like in a good way though.
Yeah.
Seriously, like when I meet artists, I pull them in with me. And my personal goal this year as an artist is to do a tour of the city. There are so many churches here, and I do have a lot of inspiration, a lot of inspirational material. So I want to be able to do a church tour and a college tour. My goal is to bring in musicians with me, because I think the problem here, we keep talking about collaboration, is that when people do start to have a little bit of success, they really do it on their own. They bring in unknowns.
Right.
They get signed by record labels, things, and I don't want any of that. I want to raise money, do it ourselves, and rock the house. Because obviously we can rock the house. We just need the PR, the advertising, people behind us, a team.
Step one. Welcome to In Frame.
Yeah.
We are Rising Fire Productions. My name is Jay Lazarus Hawk. This is Jamie Hall. We are filmmakers, predominantly. We also do corporate work and commercial work, music videos and things like that. And you're about to get an opportunity. There's probably 2 people watching right now. I have no idea what our audience is, but the rewatched, the files get rewatched. The archives get rewatched.
Yeah, we put it on our website every Friday.
But I'd like each one of you to go ahead and give us your name, any contact information you are willing and want publicly available, what it is you do, and a little bit about yourself. Like, market yourself right now. How would you want the world to see you? Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, everybody. My name is Jason Fisher. I'm a singer, songwriter, and producer. I also do a little film scoring. You could reach me at jlfisher1986@gmail.com, and also you can reach me at 901-643-3645. I'm welcoming all callers, so please call me, contact me, and let's make it happen. All right, thank you.
Taliba.
My name is Taliba Safia. I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, girl. My music is at talibasafia.bandcamp.com. It's TALIBAHSAFIYA.bandcamp.com. You like what you hear and you want to reach out, you can email me at talibasafia@gmail.com.
Excellent.
And she didn't mention the fact that she also makes jewelry.
I do make jewelry right here on the wrist. There we go, a little bit of jewelry. Yeah, and do some acting, lots of acting actually. And I just introduced myself to the world of spoken word a couple of days ago, so I'm a Jill of all trades.
Excellent, excellent. And from my experiences, having met you while we were running our little commercial break, then watching you perform, just the energy you're giving now, I would recommend people find you. You look like you'd be fantastic people to work with. I've known Tiffany for less than a week and already feel like she's part of the family, a little sister almost. I think that's just her energy.
Yes, definitely.
She's definitely a very, very easy person
Yes.
to instantly have a connection with and to really truly love the spirit of. So you all seem to have a really good bond between the 3 of you, and the fact that that's a 2-day-old meeting between what I just saw up there is kind of impressive to me.
That was spontaneous, what you saw.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a 2-day, right? We didn't rehearse that at all.
Oh, yeah. No. But,
That's fantastic.
That's impressive, and it does show how willing you are to collaborate, because there's no moment in that did it seem like any one of you should be in the spotlight. It seemed like the three of you were a unit.
Wow.
And that's an impressive thing. I mean, that takes years to build for a lot of people. So the fact that you were all just comfortable standing there doing it like that really says something about each of you as an individual and certainly as a group together.
It felt fantastic.
It did feel pretty
It
cool.
It felt really good.
I definitely welcome the city out to the different open mics that are going on, because what you guys saw happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, didn't you guys love the open mic on Friday? It was phenomenal. Electric.
It was.
I like that word. It was. It's something that feels really good about it. I think I want to talk about the different open mics, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I give myself a plug first again? My third plug. And I'm going to keep plugging myself. I have no shame.
Actually, before you jump into that plug, I'm going to plug one ahead of you. Robert Coletta at the Memphis Rehearsal Complex
He's awesome.
is having an event Tuesday, I believe, called Edgewise, which is a poetry spoken word event.
Doesn't Tandria host that event?
I don't know a lot about it. I got the invite to it on Facebook today, and I'm calling it up right here. I'm just having a little trouble getting Facebook to load. Hosted by Tandria Lyons, yes.
Tandria's
and
awesome.
it will be at the Edge Coffee House, which I believe is right down the road here on Cooper. So there's that one. Now go ahead and plug away.
Can you repeat that one? Just
I can. It's
I'm gonna write it down.
It's Edgewise, spoken word and poetry, at the Edge Coffee House, Tuesday night. And I just closed that, so I don't know if I have a specific time. I want to say it was Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Edge Coffee House at 532 South Cooper.
And is this weekly or?
I don't know if this is a weekly event or not. It just says Poetry Spoken Word Night.
Cool.
Awesome. And we were talking about that word of the day, collaboration. I met Tandria at Robert's event, Michael Joyner's CD release, which was awesome. And Tandria said she was going to come out to my event, and did. It's amazing when people do what they say they're going to do.
I've got to
It
say,
is kind of amazing.
with Robert Coletta and what he has done in this city for collaboration, I'm telling you, I'm very impressed by him.
I think that Robert Coletta is very much one of the kind of unknown and quiet linchpins in this city's future
And what
arts community.
Yeah, and what he's doing at the Memphis Rehearsal Complex is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We got a chance to go out to one of his events a couple of weeks. It was about 2 weeks ago. I
Just
believe.
about 2 weeks ago.
And it was great. And
It's a free event.
yeah.
He gives space to the artists for free. He gives the musicians the stage for free. I don't know how he manages to do
I
it.
applaud
I guess
him.
it's donations
applaud him.
only or something. But
He's an awesome person.
he's
That's actually how I heard about you guys.
It's through
through
Robert.
the Colettas.
I went to like Michael Joyner's release and
Right.
met him there. Hooked up with Tandria. She, we friended each other on Facebook, and she put up a post about that Robert had for your shoot. I called Robert, and he told me come on down.
Yeah, Robert is a fantastic supporter of ours. I actually met Robert through Facebook. We were getting ready to shoot part of my trailer for Nature of the Beast, and he contacted my wife on Facebook and said, "Hey, what can I do? I need to talk to you." And he called me the next day and he said, "Whatever I need to do for you guys, you let me know." And I didn't even know him. I'd never even met him. And he is one of those people that, like I said, I applaud him. My hat's off to him, because he's one of those guys that will try to help anybody in this town with any kind of artistic views or anything. And he's a great person to be around. I love being around, and I will say in this open forum, thank you so much, Robert. We appreciate you and keep doing what you're doing.
And I think he was brought to us by Audrey.
He was.
Etzelli, who is, you met, Audrey was one of our PAs. She had the red hair.
Oh, the beautiful girl.
The absolutely beautiful girl, yes. But she has been a massive supporter of ours for a little over a year now. She's been in front of the camera for us, behind the camera with us. Every time we have an event, she's telling everybody about it, and I think that's how we got in with Robert Coletta. So, and again, it's that collaboration. She knows what it is we're trying to accomplish, and she respects that. She's doing much the same thing for models in this city. because in this city, a lot of models really don't know what the business is.
And if anybody does, she's
and
one of
Audrey
them.
is a sharp girl, and she'll be very quick to correct somebody if they're hurting one of her girls. So, you know, having that collaboration breeds a certain, again, it's family, and you don't mess with family. Because, you know, when you mess with little sister, all the big brothers come running. So that's kind of what we're trying to create, which is why on our set, as you saw, we embraced everybody there. You know, do you need anything? Can we get you anything? Is everybody okay? And we try to make it a family experience. And, you know, one of the things we've had a number of people tell us is, Antoine, I believe, was the one that said it last week, it's rare that you work on a set with someone and then continue contact with that person, unless they're already a friend. But many people you work with are just come and go. We do our best to never let that happen. We make sure we follow up with everyone we've worked with, often establishing friendships and working relationships in the process. So that's the beginning of what I'm seeing here, and I do see a certain spark and magic within the sound that I heard. So kudos to you, and I wish you all very well, solo as well as together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That said, I've interrupted you 3 times now. Please, go ahead and plug everything you needed to plug.
Plug everything? Okay. First off, because I don't think I ever give concise answers, so we're going to practice on camera a concise answer to who I am. I am Tiffany Mache. I am a community member, first and foremost. I'm a spoken word artist and educator. I teach in the schools, kids to just learn to be free. A lot of kids love hip-hop. They don't know that that's poetry. So I'm there to help. If there's an English teacher who wants that in your classroom, you can contact me at speakpoetrymemphis@gmail.com, or you could go to southernword.com and you could look up the organization. There are lots of things that are there on that website. I'm a writer. I'm in the process of writing a play.
Go ahead.
For Love Your Shades. I'm in the process of writing a play for Hattie Lou Theater. Right now they asked me to do that. And I was like, what, really, me? So I'm doing that. I'm also a comedian. Sometimes,
wow.
I don't tell everybody that. It's not publicized. But I do sometimes go to the Popular Lounge on Monday nights. You guys can go and come check me out. Just don't make fun of me. If you laugh, you must laugh with me, not at me. Hey, that's my only requirement. I'm also an MC, hip-hopper. You know?
Yeah, she is.
You know what I'm saying? We might bust a little flow before we leave, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you believe me. He don't believe me. He don't believe me.
I don't know your limits yet.
He don't
I make
believe
no
me.
judgments.
Alright, we're going to show you something before we walk up out here. I also host events, you know, from the hip-hop events to the sushi events. I can host whatever you need. I'm an entertainer. We keep you laughing. I'm also a chef and a plus-size model. I lost 30 pounds recently so I could get back into modeling.
Nice.
And it feels nice.
Yeah, it should feel
I'm
nice.
going to lose some more weight while I'm at it. I'm going to keep going. As far as the shows that are going on here in the city, Caritas Village every first Saturday. Didn't you enjoy yourself?
I went last night, and it was really nice.
Great.
I think so too. I enjoyed you, by the way.
And I enjoyed you too.
Thank you very much. Jason, I enjoyed you Friday.
I enjoyed you as well.
Thank you. Friday event is called Love Flows, and that's at 515 E.H. Crump.
Is that every Friday?
That's every Friday.
That's every Friday.
And they've got these really cool shirts that say Love Flows. If you buy a shirt, it's only $20. And you get free admission for a year. For a year, you really only spent $20. You save like $144, something like that. I don't know what the math he said didn't make sense, but I just said okay.
He was just throwing
whatever.
numbers out.
I'll buy the shirt. Doesn't matter. But that's every Friday, 515 E.H. Crump. The building is called The Hub. The next event that you absolutely should know about, it's y'all gotta repeat after me, okay? I'm gonna say this. You gotta repeat after me, okay? Hype Life.
Pipeline.
There we go. Every Thursday night at Brinson's, we have an event with Darius, Fat Mac, Funny Man Clayton, and it's going down. Like, if you go, you gotta be grown. Like, don't be not grown and like judgmental and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, they're drinking. Yes, we're drinking a lot.
Yes.
It's a club. You know?
It's what you do.
Yeah. Well, you know, not that I drink. I'm not saying that I do, but. I have fun, but you can come out, have a good time, relax. We're not gonna judge you. Whatever you want to do, open mic. You can play the spoons. You know, if you want to play the spoons, you could rap. You could do comedy. We have a good time. On Monday nights, a lot of people know about this event, open mic called The Word. The Word is off the chain. That's at the Rumble Room, 8 p.m. You should definitely go check them out. If they're full, Monday nights, Brinson has a set as well. A set that you should definitely know about. Artistic Lounge. You guys ever heard of Artistic Lounge?
No, I haven't.
You should. Artistic Lounge is only the best event. I'm sorry. I know I have events, and so I shouldn't say this. Let me rephrase. Artistic Lounge is an excellent and well-organized event by a young man named Brandon Tolson. He's a graphic designer and an artist himself. Another young lady named Siffin A. She's a DJ and artist. Another young lady who does the word. Her name is Tammy Daniels. They all collaborate. And this collaboration is off the chain. Just Facebook it. Artistic Lounge. ARTISTIK Lounge. To find my events, you go to facebook.com/Tiffany Mache. That's Tiffany, the regular way.
Mache.
Yeah, all this funny business, people I-E, and no, it's TIFFANY, the proper way that God meant, okay? and the other part is MISHE. Easy way to remember that is my she. Like that's mine. She belong to me. Even though she don't belong to nobody. She belong to me.
I have to
she.
apologize. I think we misspelled it on the
On the
front end of our show. I think I have it CHE.
I forgive you.
I apologize.
It's totally okay. Facebook.com/Tiffany MISHE. Like the page.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Awesome.
And it really does matter. Like pages and share those pages with friends and get them to like it too, because it may seem like a silly thing just worrying about numbers, but with us, when we have a film project and we have a page for that film, it benefits us. If we have 100 people who like the page, and we're going to go to ask somebody, we want $50,000 for this movie. What do they base giving us $50,000 on?
I want to know your fan.
Well, they go to the fan, they go to the
Yeah.
page, and they say, well, there's
welcome.
100 people that'll go see it right there. So when you get those numbers up, it can make a difference. You know, if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to get investment in some of your art, you want those people who are going to invest to be able to see numbers on your fan pages. So it's important, people out there, find the artists in your community, like the pages they have available to like, and help them find backing. You know, you may not be able to spend $300 on a piece of art, or maybe you can spend $30 on a print of that piece of art. But the artist still needs to make those prints so they can have them for sale. They need investment on the front end to create product. And you turn to an investor and they see you have 1,000 fans. That's a really good number, and a way that they see they might get their money back from that investment, knowing you as an artist have supporters. So please, everybody, share the art pages, like the pages, support the local artists any way you can, whether that is simply by sharing, or by donating, or by going out to the events and seeing them live and showing support that way.
Or by donating.
Or by donating. Donating is a wonderful thing for artists. We all need money to do what it is we do. Whether it's as a spoken word artist, you need pads of paper and pens to write it all down with. As a musician, you need to keep your keyboard running, and you need power at your house so you have power to that keyboard. And as a jewelry maker, I don't even begin to know how many different things you might have to have in play to be able to do what you do. First and foremost, buying the materials to make the jewelry out of. So as local artists, as filmmakers, we need a ton of money to do anything.
When you donate something, you never know where your money's going to take that artist to. It could be one of the next biggest things.
And money is always the key ingredient, but it isn't the only way to donate. For instance, as a spoken word artist, someone could hand you a pad of paper. There's a pad of paper you don't have to buy. As filmmakers, someone could tell us, why don't you just come in here and film? Now we don't have to pay for a location. So there are a number of different ways to donate and show an artist the support they need. As musicians, somebody who has the ability to do sound studio, somebody who has a sound recording studio in their garage. Here's 3 people that need to be recorded. Contact these people, tell them, come on in. Offer up some space at no charge or extremely low charge to help these artists who don't have money become the kind of artists that can be earning money. And that's, we kind of all have to help each other do that. So whether it's Taliba's page, which you need to like, Jason's page, which you need to like, Tiffany's page, which you need to like.
Already liked.
Well, it can stand some more likes, right?
It's always take more.
It can always take more.
I feel like they heard me say it and they went immediately on the Facebook and found
Well, let's
my
hope
page.
so. Yeah.
That's what happened. If it didn't happen, you should fix it.
And we need, Rising Fire's page needs like, the In-Frame page needs like, the Nature of the Beast page, the Happy Hour page, which is a feature I'm working on. These are all things that need those numbers to come up. We want people to know that these are viable artists. These are people that could be making money within their community and possibly further than their community. These are people who could create tomorrow's culture. These, this is the art, this is the music, this is the films that our children and grandchildren are going to grow up with. This is their legacy as artists. This is our legacy to our children, but it can be our legacy to the world at large as well, and that's what it should be. That's what art is supposed to be. So we all want to get the exposure, and collaboration is a fantastic way to help make that all happen.
Excuse me. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about the Happy Hour?
Yeah, Happy Hour is a feature film I'm working on. It's one I wrote. It took me 9 to 10 years to get the script where I wanted it. It's a very non-traditional script style. It's the story of 6 lives, choices they make, and the consequences that they face in those choices, and how those choices all bring them into one location on a Sunday afternoon, all in the same bar. The overall premise is it's a man, his wife, and his daughter, a bar owner, a young girl about to get married, and a disillusioned porn star. Those are my primary 6 characters. We follow each of these people over the course of one weekend. It's all jumbled up as to where at the weekend you are, but to create a pacing and a feel. But we follow through the different choices and events in their lives over the course of a weekend and see how they all end up in this one place at the end to where it all plays out, and we see that final play out, as it were. I had a campaign for it just about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, raised only about $1,000. Most of that went into printing, marketing, advertising, and kind of getting word out that this is a project that needs more funding. But because I did have people donate money, I don't feel right saying, here's a physical copy of the script, that's what your money went and got spent on. They deserve to see film work, in my opinion. So probably in June, I'm going to start some of the principal photography on some of the smaller scenes, things I can shoot that won't affect continuity if it takes me a little while to get to other things. And in the process, I can make use of the scenes I'm shooting as publicity to bring in more, to show that to other potential investors and producers to bring in more money to help finish and fund and finish other scenes to create the whole product.
So how long have you been into filmmaking?
I got my start almost exactly 12 years ago. Actually, a little bit over 12 years ago, I shot a small scene as an actor for Craig Brewer in his first film, Poor and Hungry.
Okay.
Established my friendship with Craig Brewer, had a number of conversations, one thing led to another. I had a short film idea that he loved. He was the executive producer on that, which is nowhere near saying enough. He showed me the support that it took and the encouragement it took for me to get past some insecurities to write the story. He provided the camera, which at a later date he ended up giving me as a gift. He provided the location, which was his own home. He provided the actors, which were people he knew that he had found. He provided everything I needed. And we went, and it was January 27th, 2001. I went over to his house. He, at the time, was living in a tiny little house at the end of Vinton, on the dead-end side of Cooper. And it was a tiny little place, and we had use of his kitchen, which was the only location I needed. And we put together a project called The Morning Ritual, which I got a number of awards from. I've got some kind of write-up in the American Film Institute, which I mentioned to several people, but I don't actually know the exact quote. I've never seen it myself, but Craig told me that the American Film Institute had seen it and kind of put it in their Innovators of 21st Century Digital Cinema display, and my name got put in history books or some such similar thing like that. So I've been basically doing it for 12 years. It's all been no to low budget. Almost everything I've done has been virtually nothing other than the food and gas money to get where we had to go. I've made, I want to say, 7 or 8 short films that have been completed, including a couple of trailers. A number of projects that will never see light of day for one reason or another, just unfinished. I've got one just sitting and editing for 2 years at this point. I've been working with Marcus Kent Hampson, my lead cinematographer and tech person, for in the neighborhood of 4 years now. And Jamie and I have been together for just over a year, and our company has been an official LLC company since last June. That's a little bit about us. We branch out past filmmaking. We are doing corporate and commercial work. We will help other people get films made. We kind of are a unique production team as far as the commercial side of it goes, because we do have the art backing. We can actually create concept, write scripts. We can contact and bring actors and other talent because of our network. So we're kind of a one-stop shop. We can bring music because we can reach out to people like you and say, yes, we know how to get you some music that's original. And that's, like I said, that's kind of the way we're doing it. Is we're not looking to buy a Led Zeppelin song for our movie or a Bon Jovi song for our movie. We're looking to find a local artist that can write the kind of thing we want that fits the spirit of our film. And that way, we're not only getting our movie some attention, but we're bringing attention to someone else.
Most definitely.
We also do an acting class on Monday nights when all the spoken word things are happening. There's also an acting class going on. Actually, we're one of a couple that are Monday nights. Ours is downtown. We start at 6:30. We go till 10. It's a $20 class, but we also provide food because we feel a lot of people on Mondays work. It's very difficult to get out of work, get home, get food, get changed, get out the door, and get somewhere by 7 o'clock, especially in this city with our highways are hellacious. Half the time they're parking lots from 3:30 till 6:30.
So I'm sorry, but could you give me as well as the viewers the actual address?
Absolutely.
You said it's downtown, so
it's and depending on how you search it, it's in an odd location of downtown. Some maps have it listed as Winchester. Some maps have it listed as Commerce. The true address is, I think, 110 Commerce Avenue. It is what used to be the old High Point Pinch bar.
Okay.
The opposite side of the building is 111 Jackson Avenue, is Ferrero's Pizzeria and Pub. It's one solid building. The owner of that building has joined with us and in support and allows us to use his location to run our classes. And we have a deal with him, and that's where the food comes from. He has an Italian restaurant menu. So lately it's been all pizzas just because we're a young class. We're still starting up and gathering students. But we're hoping in time when we have a regular class that we'll be offering things like pastas and lasagnas
and stuff like that.
And meals. And, even with our class, you don't come out and get junk food. We want to provide something that's actually good for the body. So, Italian food might be a little bit hearty.
No, that's excellent.
But a lot of people will come out for some pasta.
Now, I just have one last question, and I think I need to know this as well as the viewers. But
You're good at this. Want a
He
job?
needs to
What advice could you give some aspiring filmmakers? What advice would you give some aspiring
Don't stop.
filmmakers?
Yeah.
Don't stop. It doesn't matter what you want to film. Do it. Filmmaking is one of the most things in the world that you can't be lazy to do it. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun when it's done. I mean, with my first film, which was released last year, I was on a film set where me and Lazarus actually first started working together, and I'd seen some things that I wanted to do better with my first film, and I started pre-production 4 months before, and it's a lot of work. But if you're truly wanting to do film, I believe that if you have the mindset that you'll be willing to put in the work, and you might not get paid back for it, but seeing that film,
there's your payback.
For me, seeing that film on a 30-foot screen was all the payment in the world that I needed. And I just say, no matter how many people tell you that you can't do it or it's stupid because you're not showing it in Hollywood or anything like that, don't give up.
Don't ever give up. And it's hard because film is probably the most collaborative art form by necessity. A songwriter can sit down and write a song. A guitar player can pick up his guitar. An artist can pick up a brush and a canvas and paint. A filmmaker can't do anything without a group of people. You have to have people. So, and I don't know if I'm uncomfortable giving advice as such, but you can't give up. You can't let your ego stand in the way. That's the first thing that has to go. And do not be afraid to fail. In fact, endeavor to fail, because that's what will teach you what you need to know for the next project. And so on and so on. So don't be afraid of the failures. Learn from them, because you're going to. You know, even Spielberg, look at how many movies he's made, and then look at how many of those movies have truly stood out. Now, he has probably one of the best track records, but every filmmaker out there has made a dud. Every filmmaker out there has at least one film they regret. My absolute favorite filmmaker of all time is a man by the name of David Lynch. Everything he's done is gold, in my opinion, with one exception. And a lot of people love this movie, and I'm not trying to discount that. But he made the original, I think it was in 1984, Dune.
I love it.
Now, a lot of people love that movie. Personally, I think what an odd choice to have David Lynch make that movie. David Lynch himself says it's the only movie he regrets, because it's the only movie, as a filmmaker, he did not guarantee himself final cut, which means he is the last voice as to what that movie should look like and be. Dino De Laurentiis, or I think it was Dino De Laurentiis, might have been Raffaella, but I think it was Dino De Laurentiis that produced it, retained final cut. So the movie that got put in the theater is not at all the movie David Lynch wanted in the theater. His cut's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours long or something. They cut it for length. It's a different movie than he wanted. But he learned. And the next time he went out and made a movie, and every single time after, he made sure he had word on final cut, so that he got the movie he wanted out there. But it took him years. And it took him that moment of a harsh lesson, to where he realized, I can't do that again. You know, my first film, it's in this city is considered one of the best films ever made in this city, and by both John Bifus and Craig Brewer himself have said it's the best short film ever made in this city. It won me awards. It got me written up in AFI. Every time I show it to someone, I pray to God they don't see the continuity issues that I see in it, because there is a major continuity issue right in the beginning of it. Almost no one ever sees it. I can't help but see it. It stands out like a giant sore thumb.
Right.
There's one or two little things where I was like, kind of wish I had an additional angle or a different cut for this, but we didn't film then. So it taught me think when I'm filming, think of my edit. Don't just think I have a vision and make it, but really think through to the edit. One of the best pieces of advice Craig Brewer ever gave me was do all of the big three. Write your script. Then direct the script you wrote and look at all the mistakes you made as a writer, because as a director you'll see them. Then, after you've directed your project, edit it. And as an editor, you will see every mistake you made as a director. And I took that a little further. I took that a little bit further and decided I'd step back into acting, because I wanted to get an idea of what the actor's experience on set was, so that I could train myself as a director and now as an acting coach what they are going to experience. And the first thing I figured out is if you're going to be an actor in this town, and it does not matter if you're a lead actor or an extra, it's more impacting when you're an extra. But even as a lead, the number one rule of acting, you're going to wait. You are going to sit and you are going to wait.
Yes, you are.
Because every shot is a lighting change, a camera change, complications that go with that, figuring out the right gels for your lights. Are there glares? And then once you get into position, what was that? Was that a train, a truck, a trolley, an airplane, a Harley Davidson,
Why you always think
a barge? I'm just trying to think of everything we've encountered. SWAT?
Geese.
Geese?
At 4:30 in the morning.
Oh God, the shot with the geese.
Yeah, the geese. on my film Cold Blooded, we sat outside for
3 hours.
3 hours because there were geese, and when there wasn't geese, there was FedEx planes.
It was one or the other.
So we had to go back, film another scene, and then come back out. Luckily, we had somebody that worked at FedEx knew when the planes would
Knew their
stop.
knew their schedule.
So they cut deeply into production time.
Well, there's a lot of things in this town that, I mean, and with the movie that Chalon Martin did, like Scammer and Bullshit.
Yeah.
It talks about things dealing with, you know, all the noise that we have in Memphis as filmmakers that we have to deal with on a constant, you know, on a constant level as indie filmmakers.
Yeah,
anyway.
my limited understanding of Lights, Camera, Bullshit is that the whole concept of the movie began with what it's like to try and make a movie in Memphis.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where their launch point was. I don't know how much of that's relevant to the story, and I certainly, again, don't want to give anything away, don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. Hopefully we're going to see Chad Allen Barton here next week talking about all of this, so we'll know more then. But it really is. I mean, we shot at the Tennessee Brewery a number of times down on Tennessee Avenue, which is an old, abandoned
beer
brewery full of dust, dirt, probably asbestos.
Oh, there's definitely asbestos.
Mummified animals that have just walked in to die, whatever else you'll find in there. But no matter what time of day, like I said, you know, in the early part of the day, you've got your basic traffic, which is delivery trucks, cars, automobiles, people, Harleys, because they tend to be louder than most bikes. That starts to fade down. Sun goes down. Now you're hearing barges,
rooftop parties,
police sirens, FedEx planes. So it never stops. Shooting a movie in this city really is an effort. And that's one of the reasons I think that the filmmakers and artists in this city deserve to be seen. Because we're working so hard just to get a scene, let alone a whole movie. And that, I mean, it takes perseverance. So as far as advice, do not be afraid to fail, accept every failure and learn from it, and like you said, don't give up, persevere, because it is not easy, especially in this city, and it is work. People think you walk up on a set, point a camera and shoot. They do not know what goes into a production.
And there's another important thing, and I always say this: surround yourself with people that are supportive.
Yeah.
Because there have been times with my films, doing pre-production for my films and waiting for the edits and looking at the edits and going, I can't believe I did this and I don't feel like it's working. There's a lot of times where people will want to give up. And if it's a passion that you have to do filmmaking, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's painting, or, you know, with you guys doing music and everything, there's a time where people want to give up. And I tell people all the time, don't give up, especially with something that's a passion. And when I say surround yourself with people that are a positive influence, that's what I've done. With us at Rising Fire, we've said this many a times before, but we're all a family. I mean, I could call this man at any time of the day, and it doesn't have to be anything with film work. It could be
anything.
It's anything. But if I have that frustration and don't have somebody to talk to about that frustration, then it comes out when I'm writing. You know, it deters me.
Or blocks the writing.
It blocks it. You know, it could. You know, it has several different kind of motivations, but he's called me before, and he's just been down, and things aren't working, and everything like that. And it takes a village to support each other. And there's been times where I've told him and said, "Look, man, it's all going to come in time." And it's the same thing with all three of us, all five of us. You know,
including our wives.
Yeah, our wives. Our wives are one of our biggest supporters. I dare somebody to say something bad about us because our wives are the ones that we send after.
Yeah, our wives are a bit like rabid dogs sometimes.
But
they're very quick to protect us.
You have to surround yourself with people that support you. I come from a long background of negativity. People have always told me that you'd never amount to anything. And every time I do something, I have people that tell me this is stupid. You can't let people tell you that what your dreams are is stupidity, because that's a God-given talent that you have as a writer, a director, a producer or a musician. For somebody to tell you that you can't do it and that your dreams are stupid, you have to disconnect yourself from those people.
You also have to know and remember that almost always the people doing that, it's motivated in jealousy or fear.
Yeah.
They're either
Most
jealous
definitely.
that you're able or far too scared themselves to try. And that's where a lot of that comes from. We're going to take a small cutaway now. Where are we cutting to? All right.
Did you guys happen to load up any of the videos I sent?
He's working that. We're going to go ahead and cut away. We're going to show the trailer for Cold Blooded, which was his first film that he completed in about a year ago.
It was
Well, it wasn't completed.
It wasn't
yet,
completed.
but
We started filming.
We were
January
halfway
19th.
through filming of it about a year ago. We are looking at having a spring area event in Tupelo. Go ahead and...
The wonderful actor Bateman Underwood. Some of you might know him as Todd Underwood, but it is Bateman Underwood who was the lead role as David Wells. We are putting on an event in Tupelo, Mississippi, where we're red carpet premiering Cold Blooded to the Tupelo Film Alliance. It's going to be mid-April, is what I want to say.
Mid-April, most likely.
Yeah,
we don't
mid-April.
have a final date yet.
So we will be premiering it, and from what I'm understanding, a 500-seat arena. It will be a red carpet event. Billboards, posters, everything.
Mr. Underwood is going.
Mr. Underwood
way
is going
over the
above,
line, above and beyond.
Yeah, and we did receive some good news. We received a really good quote from a casting director in Los Angeles by the name of Molly Benson, who watched the film and absolutely loved the film. So we'll give you more details about the Tupelo premiere of Cold Blooded in the near future.
And here's the trailer.
Rise and shine! You don't want to use your tongue? Let's remove it. That's it! Your tongue's mine! Wakey, wakey, Michelle. That's right, Gary. Your buddy's here with you, too. I get to prove my point to you both. Ever seen someone's eyes when they're wide from fear, from pain? You're evil. What do you know about evil?
Go ahead and have you perform here in a second. All right, welcome back. That was the Cold-Blooded trailer. Again, that along with The Bag, written by Jason Perry and directed by myself, will be screening as part of a event in Tupelo this April from Rising Fire Productions, and we'll keep you posted on the exact date and time of that event. Would like to thank everybody for joining us this week. Next week, as we've said earlier, we hope to have Chad Allen Barton of Piano Man Pictures as our guest, and hopefully he'll bring with him Shelby Baldock and Eric Tate. I do not know for sure if they're able. We're going to leave you today. We're going to bring up Tiffany, Michelle, Jason Fisher, and Taliba Sophia.
Yes.
We're going to have them step up again and play us out for the week. So if you guys want to go ahead and take up a position.
All right. You guys are really getting to experience the whole open mic feel that we do.
For sure, yeah.
Where nobody knows what they're going to do before they stand up. We're just going to do a collaboration.
All right.
Have a good time, man.
Oh, yes, we need power. Sorry. Thank you.
All right. So the poem is about television. And the
Oh, yeah.
things that we've heard
I dig it.
television. I've been doing it for a very long time. And it's just jam with me. See where you go with it.
All right.
That's good. Actually, that worked. Turn on the television. I said turn on the television. See adult things. Watch the world around me, scandalous things. But a young girl of only 17, she's so innocent, so sweet. Yet everywhere she sees entertainment for adult audiences. It's hard to be clean in such a dirty world, a world that doesn't really care about the childhood of a young girl. So she turns to her male friend to find a sense of clarity, cause sex, I don't know, it just kind of seemed to have this certain popularity. And of course things get stimulating while watching actors imitating what was meant to be something holy and clean. And I watch the world around me imitate the TV screen. So does life imitate art? Or does art imitate life? Turn on the television. With your skewed vision, see black girl, and she be shaking that thing on a Range Rover, be thumping in a bikini, but it's wintertime. Girl, that don't matter, still bend it right on over. More than half naked girl appeals to what sells, and who is to say that she's wrong? Because she won't be making that money unless we watched it, knowing that we liked her when she dropped it and your jaw fell. But it's not like we ain't seen this before. Oh well, ain't no need to teach no old dog new tricks. These music videos with those who wear too few clothes, they sell. So love it. And the world's real girls, they see what sells, so they dub it. Hoping their boyfriends love it. Get more attention than desired, but don't think nothing of it. And all of a sudden, more little girls are getting raped. Your minor child is out with 25-year-olds on dates, constantly sitting in front of the TV screen, imitating what she sees. Well, sex sells, mama. How you think you had me? And you can't say nothing, cause mama too was once a teen with them drawers thumping. And for the sake of not losing her mind, I mean, she had to hop on something. Reading those clean new magazines with dirty little secrets on how to please your man. 17 years later, look at how your daughter lives. Now you gotta be the parent you would normally be too busy to be, finally realizing that, hey, it might not have been a good idea to let little Tiffany sit in front of the TV screen. Because now you got to get inside her head and rearrange things, and it gets so hard. Out of a moment of complete desperation, oh my God, you start praying for things. Because see, we only go to God when we need things. So, has it occurred to you that it may be too late to change things? With a mixed up mind, she might already be set like concrete. And in a few months, she'll be 18. Yeah, that girl legally grown. I mean, she finally got the rights to do things on her own. And trust me, when I say 18, I mean by all means, mama, legally, I ain't got to give a doggone what you think. Whoa, there, excuse me. Because this could turn to something totally different. Because we all got real life issues. And I'm just tripping. But when I was 17, I was thinking, see, I was a virgin at 17, y'all. And I was thinking, dear God, is this a sign? I mean, have I personally been holding it in for too long? You see, my boyfriend was about pissed because I had been saying no for so long. And I was looking to God like, well, how long do you want me to hold on? Because these feelings is getting real strong and these ideas keep popping in my head. And the only way to fill them is if I hopped in somebody's bed. And if I said this poem in front of the wrong people, now they thinking I'm misled. Because this crazy little girl done hopped on stage talking about how she wanna spread her legs. Well, I stand in front of you today, representing every teenager, the quiet, the smart, the wild. I just happen to be the voice of the bold one who said what I thought out loud. And while America's child is constantly sitting in front of the TV screen imitating what she sees me, I'm still busy trying to be me, stepping into this new skin, trying to figure out what it might mean for you to think that I might just be sexy, wishing that my peers would also turn off that tell me a lie vision and write their thoughts out carefully, realizing that life really ain't all it's sexed up to be. Yeah. I'm Tiffany Mache. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I never had music in the background with that poem right there.
That was
hot.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't leave.
I don't like this crowd you're hanging out with, young lady.
But Dad,
I don't like this crowd you're hanging out with, young lady.
Dad, I mean...
Witness, if you will, a scene from a movie in which there was bad acting. To no fault of the actors, for which they paid for acting lessons and an acting coach. What they really needed was a rising fire zone.